Welcome back, YouTubers. Today you're in for a real treat. Today we're getting into Jeff the Killer versus Jane the Killer. Now before I get into this, I'm just going to ask a simple question. You ever see Freddy vs. Jason? If you have, then you pretty much know what to expect, with a lot of major differences, of course. But for some reason, this story made me think of that movie. Alright, enough of that. Let's get into this. The plot heavily surrounds Jeff. He starts to feel remorse for killing his parents. He goes back to his old house, which, after 11 years, is somehow still up and running, and after having a little too much to drink, he starts to see and talk to his parents. Well, his mom anyway. His disemboweled dad hits him with some heavy object. Holy shit, Jeff's hallucinating. It's pretty cool how the writer shows that Jeff's past is starting to haunt him. Then he goes to a bar and sees a girl. Without bullshitting around, it's Jane. He goes back to a hotel with her and sees his brother. I'm not really sure if he's alive or dead. I mean, I'm pretty sure that in the first Jeff the Killer, Jeff killed him. Isn't that how the story ends? But I guess it's up to the reader. Well, afterwards, he goes to a random house where a 14-year-old girl named Victoria is babysitting a couple's 4-month-old baby while they're on vacation, and he breaks in the house. The girl locks herself in a closet and calls the police. While the cops are on their way, Jeff approaches the baby. At first, I thought he was going to kill the poor thing, which just made my stomach turn. But instead, he gives it a teddy bear and makes it stop crying. It's a bit interesting how Jeff would do that. It shows that somewhere inside that cold heart of his lies someone that cares. Well, that is until the cops arrive. He brutally kills the cops and the 14-year-old girl. Well, now comes the big conflict. I know I'm skipping a little bit in the story, but I wanted to get right to this because that's what we're here for, right? Jeff the Killer versus Jane the Killer. One killer against another. I already explained that Jane had wanted revenge on Jeff for killing her parents, so I won't get into that again. Besides, this is what we're here for, isn't it? The big finale, the battle between two evils. Now that I've advertised this enough, let's get to it. At first, it's pretty one-sided. Jeff beats the crap out of her and shatters her hand. She gets a good hit and fucks his legs up. Then he sees his parents again standing side by side with Jane, and they start tearing him apart while chanting, "Go to sleep." Then some more things are said, the house catches fire, and he grabs Jane and hollers, "Go to sleep." Then there's a short period of silence. A detective and his assistant find Jeff's corpse the next day and conclude that he died by being burned to death or stabbed to death. I mean, there was so many different things being said. 9 months later, they find Jane's body and a message saying, "I'll be coming for you in the years to come," or something like that. I completely forgot what it said, so I apologize. But it is something along those lines. They conclude that the cause of death. You want to know how she died, huh? You really want to know? Childbirth. Yeah, she died by giving birth to a child. Well, all in all, this was a pretty satisfying entry in the Jeff the Killer series. Something I don't understand though is Jane giving birth to something that can write messages. Also, how did she get pregnant at all? Did Jeff do it? Maybe so, and maybe not. Actually, in a way, I kind of like how it's mysterious like that. It adds more unrealisticness to the story, which is basically what creepypastas are about. They're not supposed to make sense. They're supposed to scare you or get under your skin. And oh man, it does its job well. Well, that's about all I have to say about Jeff the Killer versus Jane the Killer. Don't ask me why it made me think of Freddy vs. Jason, because to be honest, I really don't know why. It just did. All that aside, it was a good installment and I do recommend it. Now tune in tomorrow for the final Jeff the Killer installment in Cujo06241's Creepypasta-Thon. This is Cujo06241, signing out.